Hello, everybody. Let's do the guided practice for chapter number 4. Here we're going to be working with Matplotlib and a little bit with Seaborn and move forward to understand a little bit how this actually works or how it's been defined. So first it's asking us, this is a fairly short one, but we have more code in one of those each sections. So it's to import Matplotlib, generate a plot, and show it. So let's actually do that. It's going to be import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt, and then we can do plt dot plot, and let's define here. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what I want to do, let's do 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. And let me see if I had the correct number. And I think I do or not. 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay, perfect. And then we do plt.show to show that particular plot. We define our x and y values there. And we have an issue here because it says, what is the error? It need to be the same dimension. So we actually using a different one. So 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. Oh, I was thinking we're using the same. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, so this should be 11, 12. I think I had my data wrong somehow. Yeah, there you go. So here we just exploring the values. I'm sorry, I had a lot more than I expected. I think I have a issue with my information, but this is pretty much what it is. We have 12 values right here, the data points, and we have 12 elements from 1 to 5, and those are being this little line plot, like really prominent line plot that we have through here, right? Now we need to add the title X label to show it. So let's pretty much copy this and paste it right here. And before we actually show, we just need to have the different elements here. Let's do, it doesn't tell us which one we need, so we can put anything that we want. Let's do plt.title. Let's do result, and let's keep it as we are working in school. Let's do the X label will be semester, and plt.y label will be grade. Let's do this. And we can see now we have grades, results, semester out there, the way that we need it. Pretty neat, right? He's doing what he's supposed to, and he's working moving forward through the process of the different elements that we need to have. And I think I found my issue. So let me actually correct it. I do have 5, but I probably need some glasses here. So I have 4.5 and I have 3.5. There you go. Better, a lot better. Now it looks like the one that I have in my notes. So just have 10 values and 10 records right there, and we can just print us those in habits right there. So something cool that Matplotlib has, it has some predefined styling that we can add. So it's a little plain, this one. It does the function, right, when we need it, but we can have some kind of plotting. So ggplot style will provide polished appearance. Let's see. So let's copy this and let's put it here. And let's do, we need to import this. Um, what we can do? Let's do now from matplotlib import style. Matplotlib import style, and we can do simple as a style that use. We have several styles. Let's use for now the ggplot1, and then this what it will do. It will be pretty much is applied to matplot a global style, and that style will be showing right here. Now we can see that have that background, and we have the lines, and now it's red. So you just have a different way to see it. You can see the labels is also a little bit different, the typography and the sizing. So it will have a little more way to handle those. And the first thing will be, well, which one do I have available? We just need to pretty much print those. So if we print style available, after we already imported, of course, we know which one we can use here. So we have a bunch of them right here. Let's use, for example, solar as light. No, I'm against that. Let's see what we can find here in a good one. And not even me work with all of them, but let's use the dark background one. Cool. So let's get back and change this. Look at that, how beauty. So you can see that we can use several styles depending which one we want to apply. So let's now go move to the next one. VMH style for multiple line plots in Matplotlib. So let's copy this. Let's go here and let's do VMH. Okay, yeah, it's that one. But we can have a second plot right here that we can put on top of it. And will be the same labels. Let's do this a little bit different. So let's start the same. Let's go, what we can do here? Let's do 4. Let's do 2. Let's do 5. 4. 2.5. 4. 3.5. 3 and 2. Now we can see that we just plot two different lines, and BMH is just a good one to just to saw them whether it should be. So just help us to see those particular lines and understanding a little bit better the way that it's supposed to have them, right? So now we have those lines and we can make comparison if we need to through the different process of the lines. Now we need to add a legend to a line using the same BMH style. The polish grid has visualization and create label line plots using the label, the plot ledge. So let's actually do that. So let's take the previous one. Let's skip the BMH because it's already there. Let's put it right here. So let's give the names to the labels. So let's do the first one. Let's call this, give it a particular label. I'm losing my notes here. So after we have this value, we can do an extra comma and we can do simple as label equal um professor. Let's do my name, Rodolfo. And let's do here comma. Let's do another label. Let's do Professor Nick probably. Label equal Nick, that will not be enough because here we just given the particular label to the plot line. So we need to do before we actually show it, we need to do plt.legend, and this is a function. And now we can see that those are actually there. And because I messed it up for a couple of them, let's do change to here to ggplot. Yeah, better. And then we use this one for PMH. A lot better. And that will now allow me to have the one right there. But somehow my legends colors is all messed up. Nice. But it's there. Let's actually verify that particular part. And if you didn't do the colors that I did, you should be look a little better for you. If not, it will be looking the way that I have it. So I think we can add something like when we call the legend, we can do something like label color black. And yeah, now we can do those label there. If you look at the documentation for Matplotlib, you will see where those reside. But just to fix it right now, it's just a better way to apply those. Now we need to get back to ggplot and append the styling, create a bar plot with PLT bar. Okay. Label Joseph, color M to magenta, align center. Okay. And then we add the rest of the elements. Okay, let's actually start doing that. So let me get back to the first one. Think that will be cool. Let's copy all this and put it right here. So we need the ggplot, but instead of a plot, let's change this to bar. And then we need to have some labels here. Let's do label equal Joseph. Let's do color equal M. And we can do some styling with the align equal center. Let's just add the extra plt.legend right there. Yes, plt. And let's just do that extra label color black because somehow I messed it up, the colors. There you go. Now we have bar graph with the legends there, with everything that we pretty much need to be described. So as you can see, we just pretty much took the line one and just create a bar one and added the extra element here. The line will be this form with the dots at the middle, and we can see that one actually works too. Now the align center, so we can have that the numbers are actually aligned right in the center when need to be done. So let's just do a script for change because we want to show the grid too. And we can do that as true and color equal as yes. And it will allow us to have the grid lines in that yellow pattern there that we can show on top of everything. So that's the way that we can start adding and customizing the one that we need. Now let's transpose the bar plots with the same style and have the different grids that we need to define here. So let me get back and let's pretty much take this one from here, put it right here. We're going to add a new parameter called alpha. It's like add like some kind of transparency here. And we say let's do alpha 0.5 and let's copy over the bar to be a second one. Let's send Nick to the other one. And let's do color green and the same alpha, but let's just change the values to the second line that we have for Nick right here. We can put those right here to have different values. Now we can see the two lines, and we can see whenever it's green on the top, it's because green is bigger, and when it's purple on top, it's because purple is bigger. And you can see whenever those overlap, because it does, we can have that transparency like darker greenish that we can see. It's the purple and the green on top of each other. So it's a different way to visualize that particular data. So let's do for monitoring rainfall data. Let's have a key some value. Let's have a rainfall, different values that we need to have, and let's have correct this data is not copied to the way they're supposed to be. Okay, like a list. Then we have different months, and they'll start in January and all the way to December. And that works, but let's try to keep consistent here, here. There you go. Then we can see like, you know what? My plot bar, what I want to be doing now is my month and my rainfall. I need to align those to the center and the color equal to orange. And this should be a single quote. And then we show the plot. So here we have two different lists, and then we can use those lists to send it to the plot bar instead of hard coding it the way that we're doing before. We can just use it this way to showcase the different months and the rain level in inches that we have through the process. It's something very, very cool that we can actually apply in our custom information. Let's do now scatter plotting. And we need to have a line to represent the X coordinate and the second list that represent the Y coordinate. Okay. BO will be specific as blue, markers in the shape of circles in the scatter plot, and we will use the PLT axis to showcase. We need to send the value 0 to 4.5. That will the range of my X axis, and 0 to 70 for my range for the Y axis. So we can do something like X equal this, then Y equal this, and then we can do as simple as plt.plot X comma Y, and let's use that blue color in circles, and then we can do you want to use a plot axis. I will define that will be from 0 to 4.5 all the way from actually it's inside 0.70, and that should be in the same area. At the end, plt.show will help us see that one. As you can see, we have the different values 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 as 1 near to 0, 8 before the 10, 27 right here, and 64. A way just to provide and see those particular values. So we can plot multiple datasets with different styles. So let's do NumPy to create this dataset in 0.1 intervals to generate values from 1 to 4.4. And let's use the plot to have it. But let's have a dataset as a xx2 square values, b, and then another one for exponent to 3 as b, and the other as 4 with red with dashes, blue with circles, and white with triangles. So in order to define those, let's show you what I'm talking about. Let's do import numpy as np and do np dot arrange 1 all the way to 4.5 in 01.1 intervals. And that should be MP actually. Cool. Then we can do just a simple plt.plot. And we need to do A as A as second potence. And we can do, it will be yellow with that one. Let me see what is I have in my here. So we turn yellow with triangles. Then we have A will be A at 3, and the color will be blue with circles. And the last one we have A, and we'll do it through A multiplied by 4, like the 4 buttons, and that one will be red. Oops, let me remove this. There you go. It will red with dashes, and dashes with a double one. This comma is extra, we need to remove it. And then we can do plt the axis. We need to define the size of the place will be the one that we have right here. The same as before. Cool. And then we just need to show it to indicate here. So we have 3 different data sets, and I didn't copy this correctly. And we have red with dashes, blue with dots, and yellow with triangles. And we can have all those in a particular way. And you can see the exponential and bigger number, how we're going to be set up across the board. If we expand this to be all the way to 45, let's do really, really big. Probably was too much. Let's do 5. We can see all those, the way that goes to the top. And let me push this 5 too. So we can see those being spread out a little bit better. So we can use NP array and just multiply those in order to put inside the plot. And we have a consistent data, the way that we need to look at and see it this way. So now the cool ones. This will be a really, really interesting one. So what it's asking us here is to install Seaborn, to import matplotlib, read the CSV for driving license that you already uploaded, and barplot with SNS using Seaborn catplot. Customize the chart and use PLT show in order to have the way that it's supposed to be in this particular scenario. So let's start working and doing this particular area the way that we need it. So let's just import it. Let's do import matplotlib.pyplot just to have it here as PLT. Matplotlib, pyplot. Let's do, I think we don't need to install Seaborn. It should be right here. Import Seaborn as SNS. Yeah, it's accepted. And import pandas as PD. The other thing that we need to do is from google.colab, we need to mount our drive. So we need to import the drive to do drive.mount. And we need to define that we content drive. We execute those. We need to give the permissions to connect. Say yes, continue. Wait those to work. It will take a minute. And when it's mounted, we can see my drive is being right here where I need it. So we have the driving license, the Iris, and the Titanic. So we're going to start working with those particular data sets. So let me just add another text here. Actually, this is not text, what I need to add. Let me add a code. There you go. So I will not run the Google Colab mount drive anymore. So let me just take my driving license I will copy the path so we can have it through here and do data equal PD from pandas, read CSV, and the path that we already have selected. So let me get back one level just to showcase what type of information do I have. So I will try to here, we have gender, group, and license. And I don't know if you're able to see that, but like, let me see if group and license. So we can start doing specific things with those data sets that we have defined here. Let me get back to here so I can start typing those the way it's supposed to. So the way to use them, let's do a graph. Let's call it G. It will be SNS, and it's asking us to do a cat plot. I think I saw somewhere. Yes, the cat plot function. So let's do cat plot, and here we can send the data sources and the elements. So let's say, oh, you know what? For my data source will be X equal gender, Y equal license, and call equal group here. The type of values that I want to have here, the graph is going to be a bar graph. Um, we can have more error bar, we'll say none. I don't want an error bar here. And the aspect equal to 1.0, like the sizing to showcase. So we're grouping and we're saying gender and license as X and Y. Then we just do my graph, set X tick labels will be men, and this actually is text, comma, woman, G dot set title will be call bar, oops, dash call name. And I'm missing before my X tick labels to have my exit labels. It will be G dot set axis exit labels to be first nothing. We can define like this, and then proportion with driving license. Cool. So here the only thing that we need to do is we are missing our data. We have the kind here before actually call group. We do data equal data. So we need to define what we already read, and we do those. So let's execute. It's a little more complex. We will show you a different type of element here. We can see the proportion with driver license, men, woman versus woman, and we have GSA titles call bar and call name. It actually didn't bring the information that I was looking for. I need to see kind bar, error bar equal none, aspect 1.0. Yeah, I think I have everything through gender. And that will be the proportions for group A and group B. On how so set titles. I need to see why the title is actually not be showing the way that it's supposed to. I think I need to change this one, and this will be my call template probably to be that. Let me see. No, it didn't print either. It could actually be the color and being printed as white one more time, and that's why I'm not able to see it. So yeah, my color is actually messed up. You see this white space? It should be actually there somehow. So let me get back and get my dark background just to see if that actually works. And I can use a style, use dark background. And we should be able to see that titles right there. So let's go to the beginning and let's do dark underscore background. There you go. And now we can see that my actual titles are there, column value, column name as right there. So group A and group B, even said it like that. Group A will have more men's, group B has more women. We can compare that with our values, and we can see right here that we have, well, men have better score in group A, and women have a better score in group B. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's doing at the moment, and it's able to see to this particular one. Now let's do for a Titanic dataset to define and load the data, the Titanic CSV, and create the bar plot and customize it the way they want it. So let's actually do it. So let's do first, let's do Titanic. You don't know to override the data. Let's do Titanic equal pandas.read CSV. And we need to get the path through here. So let's copy path and paste it. Okay. And now we can do something similar to this. Whoop. You just copy that over and change what we needed. So X will be who, Y will be survive, and what are going to be those? So let me show you actually. So let me open the Titanic data. So survive, and we have here the who value. So we need to understand what we're doing. Uh, and those are the ones I want to see to who survive. We have man, woman, and child. Those are going to be the groups. So let's work on those. So X will be who, Y will be survive, um, column will be, let's do class, and data will be Titanic, kind will be a bar and aspect 1, okay, set X levels, yes, let's do survival rate, and we have one woman, and let's do children, and let's do the same name, like or and call name over there. We define those. Um, let's do what I'm missing here. Who survive call class data kind bar error. Yeah, it is. An entry with this name does not appear in data. Ooh, something is missing here. So it looks like who survive and class. I could have something failing. Let me check my data. Who it is. So we have who, survive, and class. So let's check the data to see if I'm missing something. Oh, I saw it right away. It survive with a D at the end. That's important. So let's see class is there. Yeah, so looks like fine. So let's change survives to with an extra D. So it's telling like, yeah, this doesn't exist. Uh, We can class third, first, and second class, man, woman, and children. Oh, it will be here. So it's actually pretty good, right? We can have some values and see, depending the class, what is the percentage of people do actual survive the Titanic or not, depending on the different areas. So let's just finish this and do scatter plot different. We load the data with read CSV. We print the column to check structure of the data. Okay. Set style what grid. We can print it. We can just saw it here. So let's go to here, close this, and open the iris CSV. We have sepal length, sepal width, sepal petal length, petal width, and species. Okay. Those are versicolor Virginica. So that will be about the colors of the eye. Pretty much. Okay. So now that we have those, we can do something like this. And I paste the code. Hopefully it is going to be better. Let me remove this. Okay, and I will explain line by line. So the first thing, we need to import from our data. Let's do iris copy path and have those right there. Let me run as it is for now. We can see the indexes there. Cool. So we can say change the style to white grid because it told us to do it. Killing grid with background on the plot. Cool. Then it calls us to use set the scatter plot with LM plot. And the x-axis will be petal width, y-axis petal length, and the hue will be the species column. Okay. Palette will be set one. No regression line will be false. And custom scatter point will be S of 70, size 17. Okay. And that's what it's doing right here. We're seeing SNS LM plot. And we're telling it data equal iris. That's the one that we exported. S will be petal width. Y will be petal length. Q will be through the species. That's what we're asking us here. Palette will be set one. Okay. Then fit reg will be false. Scatter KWS will be S. And let's do single quotes. 17. Yes, and we close. And somehow this one is complaining. As LM plot data. What is complaining for? It was not close. Of course it was close. Petal wheel, J petal length, Q species, palette set one. This one. It is close. It's right there. Interesting. Then we say that the PLT GLCA and set the title and show it. Let me see if it actually works. It doesn't. So what is the issue here? Petal length. Invalid character. Somehow this didn't like it. So let me do a comma one more time. It was some kind of different comma for a reason. And we can see those species there. So Tosas are right here, versicolor right here, and Virginica up there. So we can scatter plot to go through their data and showcases the way that we need it. And that will be it. I know it's a lot complex. I'm purposely by design not going in details about this because that's not the course. The idea of the course is to go through the concepts, and then your personal work you will deep dive about those to get the data and the different way that you need it. But here you just define those particular elements and showcase it the way it's supposed to be. So please just submit your PDF file for chapter 4, and that will be it. I hope that you like it. Any question, any doubt? Remember, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.